Hi everyone, welcome back to the weekly Whine. This one is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because I am absolutely terrible at time management, and so I spent most of this week trying to figure out how to work Final Cut Pro a little bit better to make my edits less boring. One of the things that I noticed is that it's kind of difficult to get people interested in something where it's just like some weird looking person sitting here talking for like 10-15 minutes, and I know that. And so I've been trying to figure out ways to make things more interesting. I have a couple ideas, but I'm actually kind of incompetent when it comes to video editing because I'm so new at it. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is watch a bunch of tutorials and try to figure out how to do all the things that I've seen other people do. I'm not sure what kind of format I want to use exactly, but I know that it's going to be somewhat different than the one that I'm using now. But this is the only thing I know how to do. But it won't be too much longer before I figure it out. I've spent about 6 or 7 hours watching YouTube videos and trying to play with it myself, trying to just make sure that I have the right concept. I know how to splice, I know how to move stuff around, I know how to make edits so that the sound sounds okay, but I don't know how to actually insert blank spaces. And last week someone actually mentioned, hey, it would be nice if that pause was longer. I was like, yes! I don't know how. What I've been doing so far is I've actually just been overlaying pictures over the video that I've already made, which I know isn't the way that people normally do it, but it was the only way I could figure out because I'm dumb. There's only really one thing that I want to talk about in this episode, and that is the notion of accountability. For some people, being accountable to themselves is enough. Some people are very honest with themselves, and they can see things for well, I've done enough for this week, or I need to do more next week. That kind of thing is fantastic, and if you've got that kind of self-discipline and self-control, that is amazing, good for you, keep using it. For me, I don't really have that. I tend to think of myself as having never done enough, and I'm usually right. But the thing of that is that's not very helpful in terms of trying to make any progress because you're actively demotivating yourself every single time you think that way. You're like, well, I could be doing more. I should be doing more. I'm not doing more. I suck. I should stop. That's kind of the pathway that I follow a lot of the time. And I know that's not helpful, but I know I'm also not the only one who feels that way. So, for this episode, all I really want to do is I want to point out that sometimes holding yourself accountable means just showing up. Maybe you don't have it in you to do a whole process of whatever it was you were planning on doing. Maybe you don't have the time, or maybe you don't have the energy. But if you just go, and you just show up, and you just make the attempt, sometimes that can be enough. And sometimes you find just doing that gives you more energy to make it through it. For a lot of people, the act of going to the gym is motivation in and of itself. For me, I'm finding that just starting to make a video makes me feel better about the fact that I don't actually know how to make them yet. It's something that I'm working on, and I hope that things continue to improve over time. I hope that they've started to improve already, but, I'm a little biased. And then there's 2 more things that I want to hit before I go. The first one is that I want to introduce you to my co-star. She has been here pretty much every time I've been filming, but you usually can't see her because she's hanging out on the couch off screen. Her name is Misha. She is a chocolate lab. She will be 2 in April. She's very cute, and she is incredibly loving to everyone all the time. One of my goals is to be more like Misha. I want to spend more time being loving to everybody and finding every excuse I can to put my legs in the air. I know this video was a lot shorter than usual. This won't be the normal, it's just that I don't do time management well and I got distracted by other things I had to do. But next week, I'm hoping to have figured out how to actually put blank spaces in between video files so that I can actually go ahead and insert things and do voiceover instead of making you look at me all the time, because I know I don't like doing that, so I'm sure other people probably don't either. Tune in next week and I'm going to go over some very basic goals that I have. Some baseline statistics like what my height and weight are now because they've changed a little bit, what my body fat percentage is, stuff like that. And I'm going to go over a couple goals in a nice little format of so these are things that I'd like to change about my life. And I'm going to start doing kind of progress reports on all of them instead of just going over baseline topics like this. And I think that the combination will be more interesting than just what I've been doing so far. If you like, remember you can always feel free to share your goals with me either in the comments or on Twitter. I'm still really easily reachable. I work a lot, but I don't actually have anything else going on. So yeah, if you want to say hi or you want a bunch of pictures of Misha, I can always show you. I can always hook you up with that. All right, so thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next week. Bye.